Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here. I'm back from vacation and ready to get back to doing the damn thing. Patch 7.3 is out as of the recording of this video, but I didn't have the time to wake up super early and do a patch note reading for the full patch notes. So I'm going to do that now while my game is actually downloading, and then I'll get this uploaded to YouTube. So really the only thing I want to look at for this video in the patch 7.3 notes are the full job changes. There was no real mention of there being anything significant, but of all the things I think of that I actually would care about from full notes, those are normally it. There's usually some other details that pop up here or there. But for the most part, that's the main reason why we wait for the full patch notes. So let us go ahead and scroll down to that, go down to the battle system thing. So these are the PvE changes. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we were looking at the actual PvE changes here. I normally don't even refer to the job guide. I like to try to figure it out without even doing that. But yeah, we're at the halfway point. Let's see what they decided to do to the jobs based on, especially M6S. You know, I feel like that's probably shaped a few of their changes. We know it shaped a few changes they've made already, though. So Monk got a reduction in potency after the first target has been changed from 40% to 35%. So this is a buff. Okay, this is one of those really weirdly worded. Well, I haven't even had my coffee yet. Should I at least have that before I started recording? Reduction in potency after the first target has been changed to from 40% to 35%. Yeah, basically a 5% AoE buff to all of Monk's, well, all of these particular skills with Monk, Wind's Reply, Fire's Reply, and all of their, you know, their various Nadi related skills, their perfect balance related skills. Yeah, sure. I actually have no idea how Monk was doing in AoE, but apparently they wanted to give him 5% more in AoE scenarios. So yeah, I really need to figure out a better way to word things, like wherever there's a reduction and they're trying to tell you that it's a buff. It's yeah, that's definitely one of the tougher things we have to explain in the patch notes every time. But there's a nerf. Why would they nerf it? Anyway, Dragoon, Stardiver, and Starcross, same deal. More AoE. Reduction in potency after first target's been changed from 50 to 40%. So yeah, this is two more, you know, just AoE potency buffs. And then Ninja getting some really significant buffs here. It looks like mostly to the AoE portions of their rotation. So instead of them getting AoE reductions, they're getting, or AoE reduction adjustments, they're getting straight up potency to skills that hit more than one target. So Hellfrog Medium, 90 potency. Obviously, Deathfrog Medium is really the big one, and that's 140 potency there at the bottom, because at level 100, you're using Deathfrog. Kunai's Bane getting 100, Phantom Kamaitachi getting 100, and Dokomori getting 100. I mean, it's not anything significant, or at least it's not anything, you know, groundbreaking in that regard. This will obviously help their single target as well, which from my understanding was also lacking. But in terms of the AoE prospects, these will also come in handy in that regard as well. It's probably a bit of a dual thing since they were a little bit weaker in both categories as of 7.2's raid tier. Samurai potency is no longer reduced for Gurren. Yeah, that's a significant buff to the AoE for Gurren. Shoha, yeah, and then AoE, yeah, it's all AoE stuff here. So all the melee's getting AoE, except for, I would assume, Viper, who was destroying M6S. And this might be indicative that we should expect to see a lot more AoE/ad related phases in the future. Obviously, this is going to speed up dungeons even more. It's also going to be probably fun for people doing big pulls in deep dungeon if they're doing them, if they're in groups and they want to do a big AoE pull, which can be a thing with the right commanders and setup. It'll be fun for that too. Reaper, same deal. And Shroud's recast has been reduced from 15 to 5 seconds. Yes, that means you can basically immediately re-enshroud. That's probably going to feel pretty nice for Reapers. I don't know what the practicality of it is because I haven't played Reaper in Endwalker, but from my time with them before, I played them at least a decent bit in Endwalker. I often just wish that I had one GCD faster of an Enshroud comeback, but this is like, you don't even have to think about it. When you come out of Enshroud, just you'll be able to Enshroud again immediately. Might make burst windows feel a little bit better. And AoE also reduction, some big buffs to their reduction, going from 40% to 20%. That is a lot more significant than all the other melee. Viper is getting some changes, and in fact, they're going the other way. These, on the other hand, are nerfs. So reduction in potency after the first target has been changed from 50 to 60%. This is one of those cases where the number going up is a bad thing. But I'm also not surprised because Viper was absolutely blasting AoE way more than everyone else. Like it was just not even close. Yeah, this is just 5 to 10% on most things. You can see Uncoiled Theory, Twin Fang, Twin Blood, Ouroboros 5%. Yeah, all the legacies 5%. So yeah, this is an AoE nerf to Viper, one that's pretty well deserving after seeing their performance in M6S. Bard, what are they gonna do? Resonant Arrow? Oh, a buff. I mean, I guess I need to see what they did to the other ranged, but Bard really didn't. I mean, I'm not gonna turn down a Bard buff. Like Fizz range as a whole, I think everyone has agreed with for many years is in a bit weaker of a position than we want it to be. But 40 potency on Resonant Arrow and 100 potency on... I mean, I'm not going to say no to that. You know, I just didn't expect it. So, thanks. Thanks for the Bard buffs, I guess. Now, Machinist is what we are always waiting to see changes for. Because we have no hope. So, let's see. Auto Crossbow, getting a potency increase of 20. Specifically from that trait. Nope. Still gonna do Heat Blast. I'm sorry, it's not even called Heat Blast anymore. It's called something else. Is it on here? I don't even know. I don't see it on here. Nope, still doing the other one. You really need to make it reset double check and checkmate for anyone to, because it's not even just about the practical potency differences between the two, which was they screwed that up. And the last time they adjusted Machinist, they made it so that it was like way better to do just the single target rotation during your hypercharge. Like it was just, I don't know what they were thinking, because auto crossbow should have been their focus and it wasn't. But it's still more fun. So outside of situations where the practicality really matters, I don't think anyone's going to care that auto crossbow got 20 potency. I don't think anyone's going to notice it got 20 potency, and they're just going to keep doing the other thing. Drill 20 potency. Flamethrower. Now I will say this: flamethrower getting 20 potency is also quite intriguing. So keep in mind that flamethrower ticks once per second, not once per 3 seconds like a lot of other dots do. So in terms of AoE, that's actually a little bit more significant. But unfortunately, again, I don't know the math off the top of my head for the potency on the single target. Like if you would still like take the time. I always say this: flamethrower is my coffee button. You press it in the middle of a dungeon, and then you just do this. And then by the time you're done, either an AoE is targeted under you and you've ignored it, or you go back. And you just do that on trash bowls. You know, that's the thing. Flamethrower is the coffee button on trash bowls. I don't do it outside of that. But yeah, I guess I do want to look at the math for that. Air Anchor, 20 potency, Chainsaw, 20 potency, and a buff in its AoE fall off. So now it's only 25% instead of 35%. So small buff to that. Double check and checkmate. See, here's the thing. If you add 20 potency to auto crossbow, here's the thing. Now we can ignore the math, and now I can get frustrated again. Double check and checkmate are 180 each, the same as auto crossbow. So no matter what, the single target rotation. You see where this now? Obviously, it doesn't work entirely the same way, because this is just their base potencies. I don't remember if and what fall off double check and checkmate actually have. But the point is that they're the same potency. One's for an off global that you get a limited capacity of, and one is for your GCD, which is just much faster at the time. So if at any point, if you're hypercharging and you're not getting an extra double check or checkmate during the AoE window, you might feel a little bit better. But the amount of potency gained from getting the reset while the potency is like, you could have just, if they just left double check and checkmate, people may have been like, oh, well, now on this many targets, whatever auto crossbow might be better. But then when you add potency to those, just make auto crossbow like, even if you don't want to commit to it being like half of the, just make it like, I don't know, just don't make it half then. Make it less than the single target one, but still give it that component. Give it like 7.5 seconds or something like that. Return to double check and checkmate. You cannot leave this, like, it just, anyway. Excavator, 20 potency, full metal field, getting a buff in its AoE. reduction as well. Same with Excavator also. Summoner, AoE, yeah, I figured the first few. So these are all AoE. These are buffs again. These are all buffs to their AoE fall off. Ruin 3, 40 potency. Ruin 4, 30 potency. Ruby Rate 40 potency. Emerald Rate 40 potency. Yeah, it's a bunch of potency. But I think this is well deserved. Summoner, this isn't even just AoE. Like, yeah, the AoE portions of this definitely noticeable. Obviously, we don't care about summoning free Garuda and Titan 2 when we... Well, I guess we do kind of care, because these are the actual high-level ones. These are the low-level ones. But yeah, we don't care about the first bit. We care about this. Yeah, I mean, that's nice and all. Same with Mountain Buster. But yeah, Summoner, yeah, they could have definitely used a potency increase, a few buffs, and this will do something. I'm not going to say it's going to do a whole lot, but it's not going to do nothing, you know. Summoner, probably be in a slightly better position. Red Mage, I don't actually know how Red Mage was doing. I mean, AoE, I know some Red Mages just hated optimizing for AoE and M6, but in terms of their overall performance, I don't know, Black Mage was pretty much just like the Giga God of 7.2x. Picto really took a beating, but was still kind of played at least a significant amount. Red Mage just always played, but I don't remember how it actually did and how it was received performance-wise. Enchanted Riposte, yeah, so we're getting 40 potency on Riposte. We are getting 20 potency on Zwar Cha, however it's pronounced. And Redoublement, also 20 potency. Okay, so their melee combo getting a little bit there. For Flare, for Holy, Scorch Resolution, all AoE reduction buffs. Vice of Thorns getting potency buff and getting AoE fall off buff. Grand Impact, AoE fall off buff. And Perfulgence getting a significant potency buff and an AoE fall off buff. So, okay, some nice stuff for Red Mage overall. Pictomancer. Now, this I'm curious about because Pictomancer had an issue where its paintings were way too strong. They made downtime way too strong, so they swapped it, and they made their fillers really strong and made those not as strong. And it led to this weird thing where it was kind of not worth painting in a lot of scenarios, which just awkward. So what did they do? So reducing the potency of Fire and Red, probably helping a little. Now, keep in mind, some of this power has to be given back. If I scroll down and power hasn't been given back to some of the paintings, then the play pattern is going to be really strange. So Fire and Red, Arrow and Green, Water and Blue, all get, yeah, all their filler spells getting potency. So Hammer getting some of its potency back, a not insignificant amount of potency back. Looks like 80 potency when you have the Pictomancy Mastery 4 trait for Hammer Stamp. Yeah, significant amount back. So it looks like they are trying to move them back into the paintings being, I mean, this was just, it sucks because I really like the design of Pictomancer. It's just that Pictomancer's inherent design is so beneficial to downtime phases that striking a good balance is so annoyingly annoying to say the least. Holy and White, Hammer Brush, yeah, 60 potency, Polishing Hammer, 40 potency, Comet in Black getting... Oh, Comet in Black actually taking a little bit of a hit here as well. I shouldn't be too surprised at that. So the Hammer getting brought up in power a little bit, and the fillers getting brought down in power a little bit. That should be, for the most part, okay. The Hammer feeling bad was definitely among the worst of the paintings don't feel good bits. It definitely was the biggest disappointment was the Hammer thing. I don't remember what Comet in Black, what the, I guess that's just to make you feel like no, because that's going the other way. I guess I don't really remember where Comet in Black was in terms of their overall like power problem when it came to the patch, but more so they did move a lot more power into the Hammer and took a lot of power out elsewhere. Now, the overall potency swings are interesting to say the least, because it's a not insignificant power up reduction from their single target, but I guess factoring in the fact that they will get, you know, on average a couple of hammers a minute. I wonder how that levels out, because this looks numerically, unfortunately without all the math in front of me, I don't know how the Hammer buffs outweigh the filler and Holy and Comet and Black reductions, but it looks like it's probably, I don't know. I guess my instinct tells me that it's a minor nerf overall. When you nerf the fillers in any job, it's pretty significant. But I'm wondering what... I don't know. Obviously, the job guide would have a little bit more information, but I don't fully trust the job guide all the time. Some of the descriptions they give there just don't align with the way that we see the jobs used in combat, so I tend to disregard it a lot. But I mean, yeah, these are pretty significant hammer buffs. I don't know. I think it'll probably work out to being either just barely a nerf or just barely a buff, depending on how these hammer buffs actually end up working out. But taking all that potency off the single target rotation, I mean, I do think it needed to happen. I just thought maybe there'd be a little more power put back into the paintings as a result. We'll see how it works out. White Mage getting an AoE. Oh my goodness, they're making the AoEs for heals even bigger. Yeah, I'm not... Half the time, I don't even know how to, like, measure how big AoEs are on healers anymore, because they've changed them so much over the years, especially over the last couple of years, that, like, my brain going back to when we all had to stack for Cure 3, it's just, like, it hasn't fully been rewired yet at times. Dia also getting a small potency buff. I'm not going to say no to that, but okay. Scholar, same deal. A bunch of AoE range changes. Boreal 4 getting a small damage buff. Surprised to see that. And the Fey Blessing visuals better represent the range. Okay. Astro, all range changes. Oh my god, Horoscope is 30 yalms. God. Might as well just make the arenas like 10 yalms smaller at this rate. Sage, AoE, and then also potency buffs for Sage. I wonder what was really driving healer potency buffs, because Astro didn't get any, which, to be fair, Astro feeds so much power into other people, I could see why a little bit. But I wonder what, because I never really... The only issues I really have with healers personally at the moment is that I feel like White Mage just needs a better identity. Obviously, that's an 8.0 change. I wouldn't have expected that here. But I wonder what's leading to more range increases. Is it just because it improves playability overall? Or, I don't know. Or is it because we should expect some really big arenas at some point coming in the near future? Hard to say. And then I think the rest of these are either going to be PvP. Yeah, these are like the Phoenix down changes and all that, the progress bar. And then there's PvP changes, but quite frankly, I think it's a waste of your time to listen to me talk about those. It's not even about my time. It's a waste of your time. I'm trying to save you from that. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Rotations that rely mainly on ether hue actions and do not include the hammer. Yeah, so basically I just wanted to make the hammer combo more valuable for Picto. Just looking over at my chat's feeding me some of the job guide related stuff. Yeah, overall this is about what I expected. We really shouldn't expect any major overhauls unless they think it is important for the rebalancing of jobs in 8.0. As a reminder, a lot of people are really holding out for 8.0 job changes because they said they were going to focus on job identity a lot more. Just doubling down on certain ideas and design principles, but trying to make them so that they're not so samey. So trying to break up homogenization a decent bit. But I'm hesitant that they're as robust as other people seem to think they will be. I've seen people's expectations. I'm just not setting mine that high. I think it's literally going to be about path to power. And I was hoping we would maybe get some changes here that would kind of indicate a direction that they're going in. 7.4 is really the last place we can see those. We have seen entire job reworks in 0.4 patches before. So that's got to be the one where we really pay attention. And it's because there is another raid tier that is coming in that time. But, you know, that's why we've got our eye on these changes pretty closely. And seeing range increases and AoE reductions, not the worst thing, because they do better support the kind of encounters like we got in Cruiserweight. And I will definitely want more designs that are unique in that regard, whether they be ad phases or things that just require different skill sets from the player. But these changes otherwise don't indicate too much going forward. All of that done. That's all I really wanted to look at in the patch 7.3 primary patch notes, now that the preliminaries are done. And with that, my patch is done downloading. So I'm going to go actually play patch 7.3. So thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned. I'm probably not doing any guides in this particular patch, just coming back from vacation. I don't think I have the energy to put forth to crank out an extreme trial guide, but I probably will do, well, no, I'll probably do some stuff. I just probably won't do as much as I normally do on a per patch schedule. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.